Hey, what's up? My name's Maya. I'm 20 years old and I have 13 tattoos. And at one point, getting tattoos was a huge personality trait of mine. I used to be completely obsessed with getting tattoos, so much so I used to do tattoo sessions and get like 3 in one sitting. I was obsessed. I think I've gotten to a point where I'm kind of good off tattoos. I don't see myself getting any more in the near future, or at least any like super huge ones. Maybe some tiny ones here and there, but I don't really see that for myself anymore, which is why this is the perfect time to do a tattoo tour and share it all with you. So I got my first tattoo when I was 17 years old and I was in Vegas. I'm from New York and the laws in New York don't let you get a tattoo until you're 18. But when you're in Vegas, you can get a tattoo I think as young as 16 as long as you have like a parental signature. And I was itching to get one. I don't know how this happened. I truly was not expecting this, but I somehow convinced my parents to let me get a tattoo. So I went into this tattoo shop in Vegas. It was in one of like the big hotels and I got an overpriced Life Goes on the inside of my left arm. I say overpriced because they charged me $200 for this tattoo, which is absurd. And of all my tattoos, this is probably the one that I could say like I would be good without it. And I know it's a little bit cringy. I know the Life Goes On, the anchor, the infinity tattoos, like all of those things are kind of looked at as like chuggy and cringy, and I don't disagree. When I got this tattoo, I was at a point in my life when I really needed to know that life goes on. I was 17 in high school. It's so easy to feel like the world is just crashing down and like that high school matters so much and blah, blah, blah. And like you just live in this tiny bubble when you're in high school and you don't really realize how much more is out there. So at this time, I had went on this trip. I was in California and then Vegas, and I was like, wow, there's so much out there. There's so much to look forward to. And that is where the birth of Life Goes On kind of came with this tattoo. Like no matter what you're going through, life goes on, and the sun's always gonna rise, the sun's always gonna set regardless of what you're going through. So I don't ever remember that I even have this tattoo. I never see it. I never like look at it, but it's like a cute reminder, and it like always just reminds me of that time. Like life goes on. There's so much more. Like the life that I'm living now is the life that 17-year-old Maya was like itching for when I got this tattoo. So it's sentimental. As far as pain goes, I'm gonna give this like a 4 out of 10. Because it was my first tattoo, I really didn't know what to expect. The pain of a tattoo is definitely different, and I don't even think there's anything that I could like compare it to. I definitely was laying on that table acting like it was the worst pain that I've ever felt in my entire life, but looking back, it really wasn't that bad. As far as tattoo number 2 and number 3 goes, I do not remember the order that I got them, but I know I got them in October 2018. I got both of these tattoos done at my mom's friend's daughter's tattoo place, who I believe at the time she was still like getting into tattooing. Like she wasn't carrying like years and years of experience under her belt, which I could say now I wish I had taken that into consideration, but I was just so eager to be getting tattoos and I couldn't get them in New York because I was still 17 at the time. So I got these at a friend's house. I don't think they were that expensive. The first ones are on the inside of my arm, so 2. So one is right here on my right arm. I have the women's sign, and then on my left arm I have the equal sign. It's very self-explanatory. The equal sign means equality, and then the women's sign is the women's sign. So when you put them together, it's like women's equality, but at the end of the day, I stand for equality for all. And I'm a woman, and women are oppressed, and women deserve so much more than we get. And just like, I feel like there's a unique experience with being a woman and going through America. Actually, not just America, like literally the entire world. Like being a woman is not easy, not simple. It can be dangerous at times. And I just wanted to pay some homage to all the women that have come before me, all the women that will be after me, the woman that I am. I really love these tattoos. I think they're so cute and dainty. I never see them. For pain, I would give it like a 2 out of 10. It took like 3 seconds to get it done. And going back to the point that I got these done by a friend, I actually ended up having to get these redone probably like a year later. They were just gray and kind of fading, and I liked them, but they weren't like prominent, you know? So before I got them redone, the lines were a little bit thinner. They were a little more grayish. I believe initially these probably cost me like 30 bucks. And then to get them redone, I did it during a session when I was getting a bunch of tattoos, so the guy was just like, I'm not gonna charge you, I'll just do them. And then the other one that I got done by the same lady was this 1969 on the back of my arm. 1969 is the year that my parents were born, so for obvious reasons, I wanted to have something on me that was symbolizing my parents. As for pain, I'd say it's maybe like 4 out of 10. Like, I really do not remember the pain on these, so that means that it wasn't that bad, because the bad ones I remember. I have to say this again, but getting it done by someone who was just kind of up and coming in the tattoo industry, there were some like minor not mistakes, but just like things that definitely could have been done better on this tattoo, and I am gonna admit I might get it removed. I'm kind of nervous to get a tattoo removed because I know it's an extremely painful process. The letters are a little crooked and they're not like in line, you know, it's a little uneven. You really can't tell, but when you stare at it for a long time, you know. And just knowing that I have a tattoo on me that's not like done to its best of the ability, I kind of want it off. I would definitely get a 1969 tattoo again. I would literally re-get the tattoo, same design, everything, just get it done better. I definitely would do that. The next tattoo I got, which was on my 18th birthday, I got it down on my ankles, which this started a whole nother thing. We will get into that in a little bit. But I got my first tattoo on my ankle and I got the phrase, "Do it for those who can't." "Do it for those who can't" is a phrase that my cheer coach had said to us one time during like a pretty hard practice or something. I just remember the team was struggling and he said this, and it was just like an ongoing theme that I remember sticking with me for so many years, and people on my team would always bring it up and say it. I knew for a really long time that that was the tattoo that I wanted to get. I had also, just like a month before that, retired from all-star cheerleading. I was a cheerleader literally my entire life, so leaving it was such a weird like reality shift for me. So I was feeling very nostalgic, and I decided to have my other cheer coach write the tattoo out for me. And it's really cute because the coach who wrote it is actually married to the coach who said it. Isn't that so cute? So I have my coach's words written in his wife's handwriting, who was also one of my coaches and a huge influence in my life. She wrote like 4 different fonts of it, and then I just chose whichever one I liked the best. But I think it's a really cute way to just like commemorate that time of life, the lessons that I learned from cheerleading, the people who meant so much to me. So I really like this tattoo, and as I said, it started this whole ankle tattoo phenomenon. As for the price, I believe this one cost me maybe like $80. I got it done at a tattoo shop where I live in New York, and my mom and my brother had already went to this guy. His name's Benson. He's super cool. So he had already kind of known our family, and I was comfortable with him. So like I literally was in there alone getting my tattoo, just chilling, and it was really fun. The next tattoo I got was only like 2 or 3 weeks after I had turned 18 and got that one ankle tattoo. This is when I entered my I don't give a era, and when I entered my I love tattoos, I'm going to be getting them non-stop era. I think I got 6 or 7 tattoos in like a span of a couple weeks. I went wild. No regrets though, because I love all the tattoos that I end up getting in that period. I think they're so pretty. So for tattoo number 5, I also got 6 and 7 in the same day. The first tattoo is on the back of my arm, so to match the 1969 one, except this one's on my right arm, and it says, "Thank you next." I'm obsessed with this tattoo. Probably one of my favorite ones that I have ever gotten. This was the one that so many people were like, don't get that. Like, why would you get that? Blah, blah, blah. I don't even think I told that many people. Like, I probably told like maybe 2 or 3. And yeah, all the responses were like, why would you get that? I'm so glad that I got it. It is still to this day like one of my favorite tattoos. The quote, "Thank you next," comes from the song from Ariana Grande, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. And I just love the meaning behind it. Like, thank you next. Thank you for all you taught me, but I have to move on to the next thing. This was also right before I was leaving for college, which again was like another transitional big period for me that I'm still kind of counting this chapter of my life to that transitional part. So very pivotal time in my life when I got this tattoo, and it just felt like the perfect time. It felt like the perfect tattoo to commemorate everything that I was feeling like. Thank you next. And it's truly how I feel about like everything in life. You know, I don't get too attached to things. I just say thank you, I show gratitude, and then I move on when I have to move on. After I got this tattoo, I got another one on, I think it's on, I don't know. This shirt's too tight to even look. I think it's on this side. I think it's on this side. It's a cute little heart. I wanted like a cute little meaningless tattoo, and I thought this was a really cute area. I love when I wear tank tops and it just like peeks through on the shirt. I think it's so cute. Oh, pain tolerance. I meant to say that. Pain tolerance for the "Thank you next" tattoo. Again, I don't really remember it. I would give it like a 4 out of 10. And then the little heart one, I would give that like a 2 out of 10. And then the third tattoo that I got in that session was another one on my ankle. I absolutely love the placement of this tattoo. Just like the "Thank you next" one, it is one of my favorite tattoos. It says "Broken Clocks," and it's at the front of my ankle, which is why I feel like it's a little bit of a more unique tattoo. I never really see people with tattoos on the front of their ankles, and I'm literally obsessed with it. I love wearing pants and having it peek through. I love when I'm in skirts and it's showing, or when it's in the summer, or bathing suits, sandals, whatever. Like, the ankle tattoos are like my moment. Like, I love them. So it says "Broken Clocks." It's the SZA song. It's not even so much like the lyrics of the song that I really wanted to get it tattooed. I just love the thing like broken clocks. I don't know what it is. It's just a phrase, broken clocks. I really can't explain it because I don't even know myself. There's something about that word combo, broken clocks, it just like hits different. Paid for this tattoo, again, it really didn't hurt because I really don't remember it. It was like a 4 out of 10. I believe that day I left the tattoo shop having spent like 120 bucks for 3 tattoos, and then I obviously tipped. Oh, and then that was also when he redid the little ones on my arms. So that was a very successful tattoo day. I remember leaving feeling so like jolted up and energized, and I was like, I love tattoos, yay! So then again, I waited probably like 3 weeks, and I decided that my other ankle was looking a little bare. I loved the broken clocks one, but I also loved the idea of having something on the other side, but something that wasn't a word. So I didn't want it to look like straight through, like, you know, I wanted to have like a picture of some sort. And at this point, I didn't have any like picture tattoos. I only had words, well, besides a little heart. So I love this tattoo too. I got a butterfly. I'm just obsessed with the look of the butterfly and then the broken clocks at the front of my ankles. It is so gorgeous. I love these tattoos. Again, I went to Benson to get this tattoo and I think he did a wonderful job. I literally just like, I want a butterfly. I picked out a butterfly on Google. He drew it and then I gave him free reign to do any of like the shading and stuff that he wanted, and I thought he did a great job. As I said, I just wanted something pretty there, and that's where the butterfly idea came up. But I also like that butterflies symbolize like growing into yourself and like breaking free and being beautiful, and butterflies kind of represent change, and there's a lot of like symbolism behind butterflies. And when I picked it out, that was not the reason for getting it, but now later, I just feel like my tattoos are still evolving with me, and that's a good example of it. Even though in the moment I just got it because it was pretty, now that I'm older, now that I can really look at it, I'm like, yes, this symbolizes change. Like, this was such a time in my life where everything was changing, nothing was the same, I didn't know what was going on. Like, it was such a transformational time for me when I was getting these tattoos that like, it just reminds me like how much I've gone through, how much there still is to do, how like beautiful life is, and how like many new experiences there are to come. And that is why like I love these tattoos, because they also kind of simulate like a stamp of this time in my life. When I look at this thank you next tattoo, when I look at the butterfly, when I look at the broken clocks, it's like a stamp of you just graduated high school, you're about to go to college, you're about to enter like the real world, you are about to go on this beautiful transformation journey that like you had no clue was about to happen, and it's led me to exactly who I am right now and who I'll be tomorrow and the woman I'll transform into in a couple years. So I love the idea of tattoos, and I more so love my mindset of them being like stamps of time and almost like time capsules of a time in my life. So for that butterfly tattoo, I have to give this one like a 7 out of 10. It hurt a lot. This was the first tattoo I had gotten that was larger and had more like shading to it. And before this, on my other tattoos, I was like, what are people talking about? Like, these do not hurt. I don't know why people make a big fuss out of them, blah, blah, blah. But then I got the butterfly and I was like, I understand. And that was that. I think it cost me 60 to 80 bucks. Again, by this point, I had gotten like 10 tattoos from the same guy in a span of like a month. I had also brought in my friends and my family to get tattoos while I was getting them. So I was bringing this guy a lot of business, so I think he was giving me discounts, which is really nice. So after I got those ankle tattoos, it was time for me to leave for school, and I decided I wasn't gonna get any more unless I found like a reliable tattoo artist, because at this point, I thought that I was ready for bigger tattoos and ones that were more like prevalent and obvious on me. So I held off on getting any tattoos, and then early October came. I was out with my friends and we were like, let's go be spontaneous. Let's go get tattoos and piercings and let's be fun and spontaneous, and I agreed. So there's a tattoo shop right near campus. I go to Howard University. It's an HBCU in Washington, D.C. So there's a tattoo shop right near campus. We went to that, and I had no intentions of getting a tattoo, but I was like, F it, I'm getting one. I didn't have any tattoos that symbolized my brother, which is also like a huge part of my life, obviously, like he's my brother. So I looked up the constellations from the night he was born, and I just like picked one that was easy. I wanted to make sure that I went for something very simple, very plain. Literally, it was just 3 lines. I didn't do any prior research to this tattoo shop, aside from the fact that so many kids from my school had also went and got stuff there, and like I knew they did an okay job, but I was not about to get like a massive piece from a shop that I didn't really know about. So I just picked out a very tiny little constellation, and it's from the night October 31st, 1998, and I have that on the inside of my ankle. So this constellation, I think it cost me like $20. Pain, like 2 out of 10, barely remember it. It took 3 seconds. I was talking to my friends the whole time, so I didn't even realize it was going on. After I got that tattoo, I again held off for a very long time. One, because I didn't have anything specific in mind, and two, I just wasn't like itching to get tattoos. COVID hit and the summer came. I turned 19. Life was flipped upside down. Life was absolutely crazy, but I just remember it being such a weird time, and I was very heartbroken over the situation. Heartbroken that I had to leave school, I had to leave my friends, I had to like revert back to basically like who I was 6 months ago, after I had used these 6 months to try to grow and become a better person and change and all this stuff, and then it just had to like be thrown right back to like my hometown environment. It was really strange and weird, and I wanted something else to like commemorate this time. So with that, I got a wishbone tattoo with flowers coming out of it. The idea for this tattoo came from one of my favorite poetry books, Flux by Ariana Grande, and it says, sometimes things must break for our greatest wishes to come true. And then it's the same idea like a wishbone, you know, it has to break, and then whoever gets it, you know, you make a wish. And I had loved that whole concept for such a long time, but I never thought like, hey, let me get this tattooed, or like let me do anything with it. But it just felt like the perfect time to get it. Again, so much was going on in the world. I was heartbroken, I was this, I was that, and then I started my YouTube channel. This is where like I kind of was feeling hopeful again, and I kind of felt like, oh my god, like this could be a thing for me. This is something that I could really enjoy doing and love and all this stuff. So it was like I had that breaking point, but then like something amazing and beautiful has grown out of it. So this tattoo kind of symbolizes so much for me. It symbolizes one of my favorite books. It symbolizes that strange period of time that we were all going through, and then also like the birth of my YouTube channel. This tattoo is also special because one of my really good friends drew it for me. I believe this one cost me maybe like 80 bucks, and then the pain was terrible. I would give this like a 9 out of 10. It took a very long time to do. It felt like a chainsaw. I'm being so dramatic, like I don't want to scare you away from getting a tattoo, but like it hurt. This was like the mother of tattoos. Like I don't know if I could ever get anything done on my sides again. It hurt so bad, and it took like 45 minutes. It was terrible. So I got that in July, and then the next tattoo I got was in March. This was my spring break of sophomore year of college, and my best friend and I, we went to Hawaii. We got an 1111 on our ankles. 1111 just means so much, in addition to having this be like a matching one with my best friend. Like 1111 just also symbolizes like spirituality, connecting to your higher self, manifestation, being grounded, all of that encapsulated into one. And I have to say, like, that practice really became prevalent in my life when I met my best friend Delaney, and when we started talking, and we both kind of agree that that side of us flourished because of our friendship. So it was just like really nice to commemorate that with a tattoo together. As far as pain goes, I'm gonna give this like 3 out of 10. It was not bad at all. It was super chill. We got these done by an apprentice at a tattoo shop in Kailua. We were in Oahu, Hawaii. So that was fun. That was great. I would definitely go back to that shop if I was ever in Oahu and wanted more tattoos. I don't remember how much it cost. Maybe like 60, 70 bucks. Like they were not trying to charge us because he was an apprentice. So it was just like his own regular like starter rate. So I love this tattoo. Super cute. And the last tattoo I've gotten, and my most recent tattoo, is a G on my left wrist right here. G just stands for Guardino. That's my last name. I actually have a whole video getting this tattoo and like an explanation and showing my family and surprising them and all of that, but my family is just so important to me, like the most important thing. I can like very sturdily say that there is nothing more important than my family. But once I got this tattoo, I kind of decided, okay, I'm done. I just don't have any more plans to get them anytime soon. Don't hold me accountable to this though, because like next month I could pop up with a huge ass tattoo. I don't know, that sometimes will happen. But right now, date of filming, I have to say I'm kind of good off them. I still completely love all the ones that I got, and I'm so happy with them, and I'm so glad that I have them. They're such pieces of me, and they mean so much to me. And not saying that tattoos have to have meaning, like not just the meaning behind them, just the fact that they're tattoos, they're on me forever. I can never get rid of them. Like they are me. And again, like I explained earlier, like these are stamps in time, and I just love them. I'm a very nostalgic, poetic person. I love to like make things deep and just be nostalgic and think about things, and I think tattoos are a perfect way to like commemorate that on my body. So those are all of my tattoos. So that's the end of this. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. I'm also always posting TikTok reels, stories, all of that over on my social media accounts, so make sure that you check me out over there. And that's gonna be the end of this. I'll see you in my next video.